2 of the H2 project. Today we're going to strip the front end down, hopefully get the handlebars off as well, get the brake reservoir off because it's leaking brake fluid. Get as much done as we can in this episode for you, but we'll give you a nice rundown of taking the front end apart to start with.
Snap this off. So there is a reason we're going to snap it off, because the throttle is coming later.
Tools he's got in the garage, and he decides to use a little handheld set of Allen keys. Never mind the 3/8 ratchet and sockets. It's easier, isn't it, folks? You're making hard work of that. Yeah. If you can see where we were just pointing there, we found a little sensor we noticed on the dash when you start the bike up. It's reading -4 outside, and it was about 20 odd degrees at the time. So there's a tiny little, let's call it an air temperature sensor in there. Whip the other mirror off, and then we can start having a look at taking the other side of the nose cone off. Well, what's left of it. We'll take this top. Take all these top nuts out, little push clips, top bolts even. Take the little push clips out, that'll allow us to take the inner scoop out, and then get to the side fairing to take that off.
I normally do these in a couple of seconds.
Pressure. Listening all these side fairing bolts off to get this nose cone off. This is actually how the nose cone's bolted to the top of the fairing.
You have to take the whole side off.
There you go, you heard the man, folks. The whole side fairing's got to come off to get the nose cone fair enough. But there are. There's a little push clip under the front of the nose cone there that needs to come out, and all these little black push clips, trim clips. If you've never seen one before, you just push the center in and then you can pop it out. So you'll see when you get to it, the center is flush. You just push that in, and that allows you to pull the clip out because these inners here aren't splayed out then. Right up in this top corner here on the inside, behind this piece of trim, there's another little push clip that you can't see till you take this piece out, and this sits under the bottom there. So electrics need disconnecting, because these have got cornering lights in the fairings. One side fairing off. This is the undamaged side, so wrap that up, put it to one side, keep it safe. Take the front, front top section of the nose cone off, hopefully now. There's 2 screws around the back of it. Now obviously this is new to us, never taken one apart before, don't know where everything is, learning as we go. Yeah, just trying to find everything really, but there is 2 screws around the back that need to be undone. Right, so what we're trying to get to is right deep in there. There's a Phillips screw that's holding the back on, because you've actually got an air scoop on this side of the bike. Obviously your induction for the airbox. On the right hand side, the supercharger side, you don't have that. DRL there, and the upper part of the nose cone. Now obviously this will all go back on as one piece, as a whole nose cone, screen, the whole shebang. The next thing we'll strip down is the front brake lever reservoir. Get all that off where we snap the handlebar off there because it is leaking fluid, and then we'll bolt the new handlebar in place so that we can start getting other stuff back on. So you go, lift that all off as one assembly. You haven't got to worry about any alignment as such. It only bolts in one place, so you haven't got to worry about getting the handlebar too far forward, too far back, and then it hitting the tank essentially if it was turned too far in. It can only go in one position. It's straight onto the top yokes. So we have got a whole new front brake reservoir assembly, lever, everything to go on. You've still got the old one on there, which is going to take the brake lines off of that. You can see there, we're just doing up the front brake lines into the bottom of the master cylinder. So you can see there, this kill switch here is absolutely mullered. This is the new one. We've already plugged it in. We had to plug it in to start the bike. So we're just going to reroute all the cables so we can get that up on the new handlebar, get it in its place, but make sure the cables are routed. Quite important, because if you get them on the wrong side of the fork stanchions, you could pinch it. You don't want to be pinching anything, cutting any electrics. It's not going to end very well. So that's routed now, so just needs the switchgear loosening open just so we can slide it on the handlebar. To see that on the camera there, just where his finger's pointing, there's a little notch there, so you can see, yeah, where it locates on the handlebar. Right, so we're going to take this front piece fascia trim off because it's damaged across the top there. I'll show you that in a second. Phillips screw around the back there as well, just holding the. There you go, she's off, and you can see damage across the top of it there. Round going on. I know it seems something menial to be putting on, but it's much easier to do that now while the front end's off, while all the screens off, etc. The UIs, you'll be stripping the whole of the front of the bike down again just to put that on. So something small, but it needs to be done now. Alright, so here we go folks, test fit of the front nose cone. So you need to clip it under the bottom of the headlight first, and then just get the mirror mounts lined up there. You can see that just holds it in place nicely. There you go, that's what it looks like from the front, but you'll notice at the moment in there and in there we haven't got the DRLs in at the minute, so it was just a pre-test fit. Make sure the bracket across the top there is not bent from the impact, and just generally make sure everything's lining up where it needs to be. So you can see the new front nose cone and what's left of the old one, the mud. We've just placed the new screen in there. That's a Givy screen, dark smoke, but you can just see it's got a bit of a different flick to it over the original one, a little bit taller, but you can see how damaged the top fairing was there, and obviously we've already taken the other bottom half of that off. Right, so next we're going to change the water canister. sides. Make sure you put the clip back further down so it holds it on tight. Make sure you clip the pipe back into its original places. There we go.
Because this is a brand new bike and these are second-hand parts, what I'm going to do is leave the original master cylinder so we do not have to disconnect the brakes and we do not have to disconnect the electrical system. So very simply, we'll break it at this joint, undo the 2 bolts on the front, and then we'll fit this plate place to replace the old original plate.
Alright, so we're ready to take the pin out, take that off now. There you go, that's the old one off. Pop the new one on. You can see the damage there where it's split and it's bust off the bottom. So there you go, look, new assembly's on, or going on. Put the pin in, put the split pin back in. Micro switch for the back brake on the back there. 2 screws onto the back of the foot peg assembly, screw that on. There you go, brake line switch back in place, spring back on, all clipped in. There's a dust cover on there as well, so just make sure that's all pulled into place. Down over the back there, and it's ready to be bolted back onto the bike, and the rear master cylinder bolted on as well, and we've got a new foot peg assembly. Now unfortunately we've noticed during the filming of this that this foot peg is actually damaged as well. We didn't know that, it's just snapped off under the end there, so new foot peg's gonna have to be ordered as well. I'm just going to take the exhaust off because that is damaged, so the exhaust is coming off because the hanger needs to come off because it's split underneath the bottom there, and this peg's all ground away. You'll see if you watch episode 1 of this in the walk round, you can see where it's snapped off. There you go. It's probably the easiest exhaust you'll ever take off, and now you can see that lovely back wheel there, diamond cut on the inside, but you can see there's a scratch there just around the outside of the wheel from where the exhaust was pushed in a little bit and rubbing on it. Foot peg coming off. So your rear suspension adjustment is mounted onto this peg, and the brake reservoir, so there's just 2 Allen keys on the back there that we just need to loosen off to take the suspension adjustment off. Rear peg's off, and yeah, new one's on order, so we'll get that fitted once it turns up. Alright, so next thing to change is this rear grab rail. This is where your luggage would go into as well. So yeah, let's get into it. So your seat's got to come off, and then there's a little inner fairing that's got to come off. So it's this piece here that needs to come off. There you go, it's the old one coming out. Get the new one on, just make sure you put your top hat spacers in there, don't lose them. There you go, that's the new grab rail on. I'll just show you the damage from the old one, just in case you seen it, so you can see there, look, it's all scraped along. So yeah, taking that one off and the new one's unscathed. Thanks for watching today, guys. Hope you enjoyed episode 2 of the H2SX project. Don't forget to click like and hit subscribe if you want to see more content from me, Inverted Rider.